in Pet Hair, a boozy show for pet lovers on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez Arata, and today I have the pleasure of having a drink and a chat with a pet parent and marketing coordinator who's going to help me break down dog beds. Welcome back to Covered in Pet Hair. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez Arata, and today I have the pleasure of having a drink and a chat with a pet parent, an adventure seeker. She's a road tripper and a cocktail connoisseur. She was Philly, born and raised. She's partnered to her boyfriend, Austin. She's dog mom to Piper and Daisy. She's Amanda Friemann, marketing coordinator at Big Barker, creators of the original therapeutic dog bed. Welcome, Amanda. It's so good to have you on the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
I am so excited to talk to you. Before we get into it, I just want to say thank you so much for sending me and my dogs a Big Barker bed.
Yeah.
I so appreciate that gift, such a generous gesture. And as I suspected, I really wanted it for my old dog, Titan, but Kira, who's still old, she's 11 and a half. She has claimed it for her own. My kid, Noah, loves to lay in it. But Titan is not getting any benefits because he knows a powerful woman and he does not mess with Kira at all. So thank you again. They're all enjoying it. And
you are so welcome.
I have so many good things to say about it, but my first thing to say about it is that it looks like furniture. And as like an interior design junkie, I kind of love that it looks like furniture.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's designed to look good in your home, especially, normal dog beds that have the fur and, look all plushy. They don't really fit in. So we wanted something that can match any room in your house. Perfect.
Well, we're going to break down dog beds today. But first, I want to introduce our drinking game. So anybody at home who's participating in our drinking game, anytime you hear this word, make sure you take a drink of whatever you're enjoying. But be over 21 in the U.S. to partake. Never drink and drive, and always drink responsibly. So what are you having today, Amanda?
I am having some sparkling cider, Martinelli sparkling cider.
Yes, nice. I love a sparkling cider. I'm actually having a hot toddy today in my boozy pet lover cup that I actually made. I made merch for the show. So I have shirts that say boozy pet lover. I have mugs that say it. And today is such a dreary day in El Paso that I needed something warm, but I wanted it to be boozy. So here's a hot toddy. So cheers to you. Thank you for being on the show. I'm so excited to talk to you.
I know. I'm pumped. Here, let's do a virtual cheers.
Cheers! Cheers! Well, I always introduce the show with a game, and today is no different. We're going to learn about dogs and sleep and dog beds. So are you guys planning on any cat beds anytime soon?
We don't technically have cat beds, but we have a lot of cat parents that buy the beds for their cats.
That's what I thought. I mean, these beds are so awesome, and we're going to talk about sizes in the second part of the show. Mm-hmm. But first, I want to dig into dog sleep with a game I call Zzzzz. Are you ready to play?
Ooh, sure.
Okay, so I recognize that you're a marketing pro, not a dog sleep pro. So we're going to learn together. So if you get anything wrong, don't even feel bad about it. I don't expect you to know all the answers to this. This is an opportunity for all of us to learn. So the first one I have is, while many puppies sleep less at night than adult dogs do, they sleep more hours during the day and sleep for longer overall. True or false?
I would say true.
That is true. Most adult dogs seem to need between 8 to 13.5 hours of sleep every day, with an average of just under 11 hours. True or false?
I think that's false. I think it's way higher than that.
You think it's closer to the 13.5?
I think it's higher, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so just so you know, I did get this off a website, and I will put the title of the website right here because I have actually not written it down and I forget the name, but it is a sleep website. It's a sleep group that focuses on humans, but they had a blog about dogs. So there could be other research out there. Okay. And I always say that as a caveat because I will, pull games from one source, but there are a ton of different sources.
Right.
All right, this one's interesting. Daytime naps are still important for adult dogs who may sleep for up to 20% of the day. True or false?
True.
It's false. They sleep more. They sleep 37% of the day. Dogs sleep almost 50% of the day, according to this website.
Interesting. Okay.
Right? Okay, by the time they're 1 year old, most dogs sleep in a dog bed. True or false?
It depends on the dog. Hopefully it's true.
It is true. According to this website, most puppies sleep in a crate or a kennel, but by the time they're 1, they're able to be out of that kennel or crate.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Next one. Middle-aged and senior dogs tend to wake up less often throughout the night and sleep later in the morning. They also sleep more during the day as they nap frequently. True or false?
I think compared to a puppy, that's true.
Yes, it is true. It absolutely is. Sleep appears to have a significant impact on the dog's ability to learn. True or false?
True.
Absolutely. In one study, dogs who slept well after learning a new command performed better. So it's not just before in preparation for training, it's also after training to kind of solidify that learning. That it's such a cool thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Symptoms of sleep disturbance in dogs include irritability, more intense reaction to stress stimuli, and mood disturbances. True or false?
I think that would be true.
It is true.
Yeah.
It is true. It is true. They get irritable just like us.
Yeah.
And this one is super interesting.
Okay.
Dogs can suffer from narcolepsy, which is that that they fall asleep at any random time. True or false?
I didn't know this one, so I'll say false, but
it is true. Okay, so because I didn't know this either, I actually took a blurb out of it so we can all learn. So Doberman Pinschers, Labrador Retrievers, and some other breeds sometimes suffer from narcolepsy because of inherited genetics. Wow. But narcolepsy also occurs in dogs without family history of the disorder. While there is no cure for canine narcolepsy, the condition is not life-threatening and does not worsen with age. Not all dogs require treatment for their narcolepsy, but those with severe symptoms may be treated with medication. So obviously they're not driving, so it's not like a danger to like everybody for them to have narcolepsy, but it's so interesting. And I don't even know how many people have even had their dogs diagnosed with narcolepsy because we expect them to sleep so much.
Yeah, that's a new one to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's like super fascinating. I almost feel like I need to do a whole episode on narcolepsy in dogs.
Yeah.
All right. So you have been with Big Barker for about 6 years now. Tell me, how did you end up joining the team?
So I actually went to a business seminar, and the owner of Big Barker was one of the advisors at the seminar at the time. And he told me at the end of the week, he said, I see a lot of leadership potential in you. We have, a part-time role doing social media. So throughout college, I stayed on and did part-time work for Big Barker, doing like our social media and marketing campaigns. And then when I graduated, I came on full-time, and I do now my title is marketing coordinator. So my role kind of consists of a bunch of different things, but at the end of the day, it kind of boils down to I help with product promotions and launches. I do events. I work on our email campaigns, and I also do our SMS campaigns as well.
Awesome. Okay, so tell me about your founder. How did Big Barker come to be?
Yeah, sure. So it's actually perfect timing because last week we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary at Big Barker.
Congratulations. That's a big milestone for any company, especially one that does something as niche as Big Barker.
Yeah. So Eric Shannon, who is the founder of Big Barker, started Big Barker 2012, exactly 10 years ago. His dog, Hank, at the time was diagnosed with hip dysplasia. Which, if you don't know what hip dysplasia is basically just a degenerative, really painful thing for dogs. And so his vet basically told him, here's this really big, expensive surgery you can pay for that we can fix it. Or as he was a senior dog, if you didn't want to put him through all that, He just needs a really good place to sleep at the end of the day. So Eric did a bunch of research, and at the time he was with a different company who sold just dog beds in general. And he thought to himself, do I really want my Hank sleeping on just this normal piece bed at the end of the day? The answer was no. So he did months and months of research to talk to many different foam suppliers, and then he put together, I brought a little block with me.
Nice!
This is the inner components of the Big Barker now. So it is the perfect formula of foam. It's 7 inches of orthopedic foam for dogs. So the beds are real beds made for big dogs, and they are specifically geared towards dogs, larger dogs that have joint issues such as hip dysplasia, arthritis, dogs who are just recovering from surgery. A lot of our customers also get the beds for their dog at a young age just because large dogs are prone to joint issues. So they use it as a preventative care method for later in life. So, maybe to avoid that surgery or protect their joints from as young as when they are a puppy.
That is amazing. So Big Barker does a lot of donations. They do a lot of giving back. Tell me a little bit about any of those initiatives you've participated in.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are huge believers in our community. Big Barker, we do a lot of canine police donations. So a couple times a year, we try to donate to we're in the Philly area. We try to donate to local canines, canine units, police units, search and rescue units, a lot of rescues as well. Because at the end of the day, we know these hardworking dogs do so much for us that we want to make sure that they have the best beds to come home to at the end of the day. I think one of our biggest events was donating over 40 beds to the Philadelphia Canine Unit. So all dogs, TSA dogs, search and rescue dogs, dogs that are in the cars with their humans, all got a bed to come home to. So, we know these dogs do hard work, and we want to make sure that their joints are protected after the long day that they just had.
Yeah, and a lot of those dogs are bigger breeds and breeds predisposed to the hip dysplasia, like German Shepherds and Belgian Malinois and things like that. That makes so much sense, and that's such a huge thing to do for them because, they are working dogs. They're working for us, keeping us safe, and that is such a nice gesture. As you guys are really generous. I know that about your brand. I obviously am on the receiving end of that, and I want to get into that. Why you sent the gift? You sent it because I said that I had this old dog, and you were, sending us a gift that really has improved their quality of life, at least Kira's. So I want to talk more about joint specific conditions that dogs encounter, but we need to take a break right now. We'll listen to our sponsors, and when I come back, I want to play another game with you all about the joint crisis. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Covered in Pet Hair. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez Arata, and today I'm speaking to Amanda, the marketing coordinator for Big Barker. The beds that look like furniture, they're super attractive. They've got 3 layers of specialty foam. They've been studied and proven clinically to help dogs with joint issues. And Amanda, I went on the Big Barker website, and I got inspiration from a video that I found on there called The Joint Crisis. So this game is called The Joint Crisis, and I know you're going to know all the answers because this is what you do. Are you ready to play?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So the first question is, the bodies of large dogs naturally put more weight on the joints than those of small dogs.
True.
It is true. As they age, larger dogs suffer from soreness, stiffness, and chronic pain in their joints. Very much true. All right. Once joint conditions start to appear, they are hard to correct. True or false?
Can you say the last part again? Sorry.
Yeah. So once joint conditions start to rear their ugly heads, they're kind of hard to resolve at that point.
Yes, true.
They are hard to resolve. I can tell you all the things I've done for my old dog, Titan, who's 15, and, he's still with us. But that man has been biohacked, I'll tell you that, because it's just, it's really hard to correct what time and age has already caused. Joint conditions impact physical activity, but it's okay if dogs stop being active. True or false?
That is false.
That is so false. Exactly. From my perspective, I always say that the walk that Titan takes in the morning is literally keeping him alive. I just did a reel to the Bee Gees Staying Alive of him walking down the street, because that is so important for old dogs, right?
Oh, yeah.
So important. All right, next one. Keeping dogs a healthy weight can help alleviate joint conditions.
Very, very true.
Very true. Finally, a supportive bed helps to reduce wear and tear on joints. True or false?
Absolutely.
That is why you're here. That is why Hank inspired these awesome beds. So I want to know specifically, because what's interesting about Big Barker is that it is clinically proven to help. And there was a University of Pennsylvania study that was recently conducted of 40 dogs that tested, you know, whether or not Big Barker beds make a difference. So what did that study find?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you think about it, before I go into the details, what do dogs do all day? Sleep. I mean, my dogs sleep all day. Like, I wish I had the life of a dog. So if you think about it, especially dogs who have joint issues, you know, would you rather have them sleeping on a hard surface or a comfortable bed where they're provided the support that they need? So the study that we did with University of Pennsylvania found that after 28 days, dogs just in general had a better quality of life. They had less joint stiffness. They had less pain. They had better gait, better ability to walk. But if you think about it, it's because what are they doing all day? They're sleeping, and their joints are healing as they are laying. So the bed is a wellness product. It's a health product. It's there to make their joints feel comfortable. The thing about this bed is I can put my entire weight on it and I am squishing it down, and you can see there's not a dent made. So if you think like Great Danes, Mastiffs, Newfoundlands, like the biggest of big dogs, their joints, instead of having to fall all the way to the bed and then stand up, they just have to be able to stand right up on this bed. And that's giving all of their joints so much less pressure than it would if they had to try to stand themselves up from a hard surface, or they're sinking into their bed and it's not giving them the support that they need.
It's absolutely akin to older people, the elderly. You can't put them in these like really like comfy, cushy like sectionals because they can't get themselves out. Like then at that point you have to help them up because their joints are suffering and they're not as strong as they once were. So we talk about the big breeds that benefit from Big Barker, but like if I had a small dog and I bought a smaller size Big Barker, would that be beneficial to them as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, any bed, just because larger dogs are more prone to having joint issues, that's not to say that a smaller dog would not for any reason.
Exactly.
My dog is considered medium-sized dog. I have a beagle. She's about 20 pounds, but I also have what we thought was a Boston Terrier. She's actually part boxer, so she's about 55 pounds. And she's having some trouble with her back legs standing up. And so, she's in no way a Great Dane size, but the beds work the same way. So we actually have beds specifically for smaller dogs and cats. I will throw that in there, and cats. So this is our regular standard Big Barker. It's 7 inches of orthopedic foam. The Barker Junior is these 2 layers right here. It's only 4 inches, so smaller dogs have an easier time of getting up onto it. The foam is the same foam that is in our Big Barker bed. So, it will still provide the same support to smaller dogs. And, smaller dogs, like I said, just because, they're not as known to have joint issues, the bed is going to alleviate any pain or pressure that they have on their joints.
That is so awesome. I love that you are, you started specifically for the big dogs, but you recognize the benefit for all pets, really.
Absolutely,
and I've laid on the bed. It's super duper comfortable. I absolutely, like I said, love the look of it. My kid, it's the one that you sent us, is big enough that my 4-foot tall child can lay on it comfortably. It's kind of like, for parents out there, it's kind of like a nugget for dogs. Like it's like so comfortable. It's like a really sturdy space. I've seen so many dogs on these like pancake looking beds, or a bed that just kind of like, it used to be plush, but it's been too long and it needs to be replaced, right?
Yeah. Yep. And that's exactly why we have a 10-year warranty on our product. So we guarantee that our saying used to be, we make beds that don't flatten like pancakes. So that was really funny that you just said that. So we guarantee that our beds will retain 90% of their shape for 10 years, or replace the beds absolutely free.
That is amazing. Yeah, people, when we get a pet, we kind of are drawn, and this is, of course, I'm like a super pro pet parent. I was, if you don't know anything about me, before I started this show, I was a pet care professional for 12 years, running a pet sitting business in the DC area. So not only did I work directly with pets, but I helped my team work with the pets in their care. So I've been exposed to a ton of new pet parents, and new pet parents go out and they buy like the cutesy stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they spend a fortune on stuff that was made in China, doesn't last, is very low quality, but it looks cute initially.
Yeah.
I know that big Barker beds can be an investment, but from my point of view, if you get it when you bring your pet home for the first time, that's a 10-year investment, like an investment that'll last you 10 years. Whereas like a bed from like TJ Maxx that is like, okay, but it's made by like a popular, like, let's say it's Tommy Bahama, or it's whatever. It's not meant to be comfortable for your pet. It's meant to be cute. So keep that in mind when you're buying these products. And I love that you said it's a wellness product. So tell me a little bit more about how that makes it different from what we would find at like TJ Maxx. Like, why is it so important for people to think of it that way?
Yeah, sure. So it's actually funny that you say that. So normal dog beds that if you buy on Amazon, they're actually made with polyfill. And keep in mind what I showed you about the Big Barker foam, components. This is actually a quote unquote orthopedic dog bed that you would buy on Amazon. So it looks, just like, it's kind of hard to tell from this angle, but
it's like a cotton ball.
It looks like it could be, I mean, this is also in a container, but it's like the same, right? So if I push all my weight onto this one, you saw I'm not making a difference. Here's me pushing, there's my finger, goes right into the bottom, and I am barely putting any weight. I mean, you can see my fingernail right there. This is actually a bed that I bought on Amazon for, I want to say $40-50, because I was testing the difference. That is the inner components of the foam. Now, I completely understand. When I first came to Big Barker, I said, that is a price tag. But like you said, it is an investment for your dog's life. I mean, the bed with the 10-year warranty is made to last for your entire dog's life. So if you think about it, our average bed cost is about $300. Well, instead of having to replace the bed multiple times a year, spend hundreds of dollars spending orthopedic dog beds, your investment is really about $30 a year for 10 years. And you won't have to replace your bed ever. You can get the comfort, the clinically provenness, all for the price. It is a long-term investment, but it's worth it if you invest at the beginning.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I have dogs at the end of their lives now, and like I've always been kind of like, you buy the better stuff even if you buy less of it. Like that's always so if my dog, they only need one bed, really, each of them, because at night my dog Kira sleeps under our bed. Like that's where she likes to sleep. So she doesn't need a bed at night, but she needs one during the day. So I have it where I work. I have her bed, and she spends the day with us or with me while I work, and that's all she really needs. So like, instead of buying 5 beds to just throw around the house and like make a mess of your home, give them, especially from a dog training perspective, make them have a place that's where they relax and where they chill out and where they stay maybe when you're not home, on this awesome bed that prevents joint issues in the future. So I know that you also have like a payment situation, like one of these pay slowly kind of options now.
Yep. Yeah. So that's our payment plan. We work with the company Affirm. So it is broken down into multiple payments. So if you don't want to pay in full, we basically have a 1-year trial on all our beds, which is basically on day 364. If you decide that your dog isn't liking it, we'll take it absolutely free. We'll take it back for absolutely free. And that, perfectly ties into our payment plan. We have the try before you buy option. So if you're concerned that your dog won't like it, we'll let you try it, and then you can pay us back in the payment plans, which is really helpful. Like I said, the price tag at first to anyone does seem, big, but when you think about breaking down the cost, and especially when you put it into payment plans, it really is not that much consistently over 10 years at all.
It's so worth it. It's like the Pottery Barn versus like, Walmart.
Yeah.
Furniture, right? Like this is what we're talking. Yeah. We're talking about a Pottery Barn piece of furniture versus a Walmart piece of furniture.
Exactly.
Visibly, they might look the same, but the construction is totally different. The quality is totally different. And you're going to pay more for things that are higher quality. So tell us, where can my audience find more information on Big Barker? I know you have a website. Where else can they purchase?
Yeah, sure. So you can find us at bigbarker.com, but we also sell in all major retails. We are solely e-commerce. So you can find us on Amazon, you can find us on Chewy, you can find us on eBay, Walmart, and recently we just got onto Target as well.
Awesome. Congratulations. All right. Well, I just want to propose a toast to you for taking the time to chat with me and learn about dog sleep with me. Cheers.
Cheers.
And I also want to propose a toast to my executive producer, Mark Winter. Thank you, Mark. And to our audience, thank you for joining us for all these awesome conversations where we have a little drink, learn a little something, and celebrate our love of dog and cat. So here's to a life covered in pet hair, because there's no better way to live. Cheers! Woo! To learn more about Covered in Pet Hair, please visit coveredinpethair.com or petliferadio.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.